I'm curious to see what your professional opinion.
Yeah, that's a good point, Eric. The EPA zone map, for example, came out in 1992, and it's still out there for everybody to look at. Unfortunately, they didn't have a lot of radon test data at the time. So they used an algorithm that included a lot of factors, not just radon data. It included housing types, it included aerial radiation mapping that like the military does when they just fly over and measure the radiation coming off the ground. It included multiple factors that they put into this formula to help predict where it would be most likely to have elevated radon concentrations. Over time, now that we have so much more radon data than they did in 1992, we've discovered that they did a reasonable job with the information they had, but there are exceptions. And even with that map, if you look at the fine print at the bottom, it says that the map was not intended for you to decide whether or not you should test. It was intended to help focus resources to the areas of most concern first, and then work their way down. One of the things that's happened in recent years, starting in around housing and urban development, and began to require radon testing in multifamily properties that were being financed through a mortgage program. And they did away with the zone map distinctions and said, okay, we need to do this anywhere because an elevated concentration could show up. And there are states that, if you look at that map, are not red and orange. They're more of that yellow area, like Texas and California. And yet now they've been testing these multifamily projects, and guess what? They're finding radon in Texas and California. So it's real easy to say there's no radon in certain areas when there are no tests going on. Once you start testing, you find buildings and residences that are elevated. So the only way to know is to test.
Yeah. Just a year ago here in my metro area here in the Portland metro area, we had a fire department that had to close because of extreme radon that was in the fire department.